بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, the topic of women in Islam or Islam and women is very complicated to some people, whether intentionally or unintentionally. A lot of people among the non-Muslims and Muslims are having the problem of understanding what is the situation of women in Islam. Is she treated unfairly? Is she disrespected in Islam? That's why this series is there. That's why I started this series, to explain and show the greatness of Islam in treating women and giving her value. Started last episode with the case of the inheritance. Now we are trying to show it from the beginning and say what is the situation of women in Islam. In this episode we will discuss and explain and answer the questions: why talking about this case about women, what is the value of women in Islam anyway, starting with the case of why talking about it. Actually, that's to correct two misconceptions, major conceptions. First one, the opinion of men about women. There are some wrong, misguided opinions of some men about women. Also, some wrong opinions of women about themselves. So let's see this. When we talk about the opinions of men about women, we are talking about two major misconceptions. First one, some men believe, especially in the past, that women are nothing. They are only created for serving the men, having children, and that's all. Nothing else. And that was, of course, widely spread in all the world, not in Islamic world only, but even more and more in the West. Christianity itself, in the beginning, first centuries of Christianity, they were discussing that, is women having soul? Is she a human or not? So some men in that time, and maybe some people now, will think that woman is nothing. Woman is nothing. There's another wrong or misconception that some men think that women are equal or higher than men. When they look to some women in this world now, they say, oh, see, they are higher than men. They are presidents, they are vice presidents, whatever they are. So men are not actually, they should be equal to women, or women should be higher than them in some cases. These two misconceptions we want to clear out. What about the opinions of women about themselves? Again, to say there's two major misconceptions. Some women think that, especially in the past, they are only made to serve men, to give them children, to satisfy their needs and their desires and so on. That was clearly and widely spread among the whole world, especially in Europe in the Dark Ages. The other misconception or opinion, which is wrong, they think that women are enemies of men. They think that men and women cannot be. They are in fight. They are in battle. They are in battlefield. So they try their best to win and be over the men. Two wrong opinions or misconceptions. We want to clear them out. Again, the question comes again: why talking about it? About this case? Also, to close the ways of Islam's enemies, who are trying to fight Islam by ideas, not by weapons. The enemies of Islam from the time of the first prophet Adam alayhi salam, later on the people of Nuh, the people of Ibrahim alayhi salam, Musa, Isa, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, until now, they are fighting Islam by any way. Because when we say Islam, we mean, of course, every correct deen from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is submission. The linguistic meaning of Islam means submission, which is the deen of Adam and Ibrahim and Nuh and Musa and Isa and so on. Okay, so the enemies of this deen of Islam is to trying to eliminate and fight Islam. They did that with weapons and so many times, swords, bombs, missiles, whatever. But also there is another way they are using, which is fighting Islam with ideas. Who said so? What's the proof of that? It's that what they say, their own sayings, which is very wide and very spread and widely spread in their newspapers, in their magazines, in their mass media. They have already said it clearly that they are fighting Islam. And I can't really count how many statements by the enemies of Islam from the time of the Nuh alayhi salam time until now, how they are trying to fight Islam by enemies, trying to misguide people about Islam. And you can see it now in reality. The mass media in the West, as an example, they are trying to give the wrong idea, a bad icon about Islam. That's why they are trying to fight Islam, not by weapons only, but also by the ideas. Since they have the mass media, like Hollywood and Bollywood and so on, they are actually succeeding in so many cases to make Muslims themselves think that Islam is misunderstanding or thinking that women is nothing in life. That's why a lot of Muslim women were misguided in these cases, and they were driven wrongly in this topic. It's not what we say, what we think, it's what they say. And if you check their own sayings and their own newspapers and magazines and channels and so on, you will see that clear, that they are trying to fight Islam by ideas. What is the status or what is the value of women in Islam? Okay, in Islam, woman is a mother who deserves love and respect. Women in Islam is maybe a wife who deserves love and care. Women in Islam is a daughter who deserves love and support. You can see that women usually cannot be out of these three categories. So if the woman is a mother, my mother, your mother, they are in Islam, we are required to respect them and love them. Not even to raise our voice in front of them. وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفْ. Yani even just uff, you are not supposed to say it. Okay? So this is the mother. And no one in this whole world can say that there are any other deen or any other ideology say that the mother has this level of respect and love. She's a wife. And in Islam, the wife have actually love and also care. Islam cares about the wife to the extent that she doesn't have to work. The full responsibility, financial responsibility, is the man, is the one who's responsible for that. She stays at home and take care of herself, take care of her children, and so on. She doesn't have to go and fight and face the harassments of men all around the streets and the offices and so on. So she is respected and taken care of. A daughter, all of us know that. We love our daughters, we take care of them, we support them, we defend them. So who can have this situation or this status, this value in any other ideology or deen or so on? No way. Nothing like Islam in this case. We may not practice Islam correctly in these cases. Yes, some Muslims, they don't. But that does not mean Islam is not good or not correct. The mistake is the mistake of Muslims, not the mistake of Islam itself. When we differentiate between the word Islam and Muslims, then we can understand this case. So, where is the problem then? Why women are being punished or disrespected or hated or harassed or so on, because the Muslims are not really following Islam in the case of the treating the women in Islam. That's the introduction. And always remember, brothers, sisters, always remember that this great deen of Islam will continue spreading, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, as His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us in his correct ahadith. Even if we Muslims misunderstand it, even if the whole world will fight it, it will continue spreading. So put in mind that when we talk about women in Islam, we talk about the happy life, the happy family. Just try to check the status of the families in all around the world, west or east, and the Western countries or in the Eastern countries, on the Buddhism and Hinduism and Christianity and atheism, whatever, and compare it to Islam. You'll be so astonished that Islam have given women something that no other deen or ideology gave women in their rules. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all to the correct deen of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And jazakum al khair for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.